Okay, so my name is Zainab, and my presentation is on the Angelshark, or Squatina squatina. Like I said, the common name is Angelshark, monkfish, or in Turkish, the batfish. And scientific name is Squatina squatina. They're very different from other species of angel sharks. They're other relatives. And this species specifically lives in around the coast of the Mediterranean, Northwest Africa, and used to live around the North Sea, which is close to Scandinavia. Right now, the Red List have given them the assessment of critically endangered. So here we go. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about their size and morphology. Females are usually on average about 128 to 169 centimeters, while the males are 80 to 132 centimeters on average, and juveniles are about 30 to 100 centimeters. And okay, let me just skip one slide and show you this real quick. So we determine their age and their sexual maturity according to size because we don't know how long they live and we don't know and what phase they're in technically. So we categorize them according to size rather than according to age. Okay, let me just go back one more. All right, so their morphology, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. They are ventrally flattened with large pectoral fins that don't attach to their body on the interior side. And they have large pelvic fins, two short kind of fins around their tail, and a normal shark tail. They don't have anal fins like most sharks and angel sharks do. They are located dorsally to see their prey, because they are ambush predator. They kind of bury themselves in sand. That's why they need to be flat, and that's why they have a really muted down light brown coloration with some light beige veining patterns to kind of imitate the light hitting the sandy bottoms of the sea or ocean. Let's continue. Their diet is mostly bottom-dwelling bony fish, especially flatfish, skates, invertebrates, and seagrass and seabirds have been found in their stomachs before, so it's basically anything that's on the bottom of the ocean. They are lysotrophic viviparous, which kind of means that they have two functional ovaries and uteruses. And when one uterus has some pups growing in it, the other uterus also has embryos, but it will stop the maturing of the embryos, I guess, until the pups are born. Sorry about that. Their gestation period is about 8 to 10 months, and usually, on average, there's about 7 to 25 pups per birth. This kind of reproductive system is not seen in any other species of angel shark. And the species also has really long reproductive cycles for both males and females. The scientists are guessing that the long gestation period, the small litter size for the pups, and the 2-year reproductive cycle for the female ovulation is why the populations cannot bounce back from the threats and population declining. So distribution, like I said, they spawn from the North Sea and Scandinavia around here to around the UK, especially Wales and Ireland, around the coasts of Europe, Northwest Africa, and the Mediterranean Sea, including the Black Sea. It's not shown here, but there has been a lot of sightings in the Black Sea right here. Right now, they're locally extinct in the North Sea, and they're encountered around the northern Mediterranean, about here, this little black part off the coast of Italy, Spain, France. And there has been believed that to be, there has been sightings of a small population around the Canary Islands off the coast of Spain. So habitat, they like temperate to tropical seas of rather warmer water with sandy bottoms so they can camouflage for capturing their prey. They live from the continental shelf down to about 200 meters and sometimes can even migrate down to deeper waters during certain seasons. Again, there's not a lot of data on the species and its preferred habitat, but I have a graph right here that shows the depth of sightings. About like 200 is the preferred and last depth they're seen. And here it shows what kind of bottom they prefer. They usually prefer sand because they can camouflage much easier. So population size. Sightings and captures right now are rather rare. And in the last 40 years, only 2 individuals have been seen off of the coast of Wales, Ireland, and England. Between 2009 and 2019, there have been only 9 individuals seen off of the coast of Turkey, which includes Black Sea, Marmara Sea, Aegean Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea. And there has been a study done between 2014 and 2017, and I've used this graph. It's been done on Canary Islands. There has been about 566 individuals seen, but it's been believed that these individuals might be the same few individuals over and over again, because the study was done with 22 volunteer divers rather than cameras and scientists and captures. So the significance, they're a very important predator in their ecosystem. Here's a captured Angelshark, by the way. Okay, so they're a very important predator in their ecosystem because they maintain the populations of bony fish and bottom-dwelling other kinds of fish and invertebrates. They used to be a really big part of the Mediterranean diet, especially for the ancient Greeks, and again, they are still a part of our diet because of their liver oil, and some of their meat is still sold on markets. Like over here, this is a Turkish fisher selling his catches of the day, and in this photo, you can see the Angelshark. It looks rather scary. Also, the uneaten meat and unused body parts will be turned into fish meal. So yeah, threats. Their biggest threat is bycatch or intentional fishing and harvesting of the species. And they're really big bycatch of this type of fishing because it focuses mostly on where they live. Also, overexploitation. They can be, with this type of fishing, they're really, okay. Anyway, habitat degradation and loss, introduction of invasive species in the Mediterranean is a big one. Climate change, pollution, disease, tourism, which causes habitat disturbance because they usually live on the continental shelf, which is where people usually go to swim. The red list has been putting a lot of regulations after they have decided to give it the status of critically endangered. General Fisheries Commission of Mediterranean has put a lot of regulations, as well as Israel, Maltese, and other European countries. Also, I know that Turkey, Egypt, and a couple more North African and Middle Eastern countries that have some populations of the species have put a lot of regulations on banning of fishing, bycatch, and reselling of, not reselling, but selling of the species in markets. So my reasons for the designation of critically endangered is due to criteria A, B, and C in the COSVIC criterias. The estimated range is rather small due to now the locally extinct North Sea. The populations have been rapidly declining. For example, more than 80% of the population has died in the last 45 years. And due to the long gestation period and very few offspring per birth, and also long reproductive cycles, the species cannot bounce back from all the bycatch